Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the depths of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has guided countless individuals through the trials and tribulations of life. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by life's challenges, this video is for you. Stoicism, particularly the teachings of Epictetus, offers practical wisdom that helps us remain steady and unaffected by external circumstances. In this video, we'll explore 10 powerful Stoic principles, each one a beacon of light in the stormy seas of life. These principles will help you cultivate inner strength, resilience, and a sense of peace, no matter what life throws your way. Stay tuned till the end for a bonus tip that could be a game changer in your Stoic journey. Let's get started. 1. Focus on what you can control. The first and most foundational principle of Stoicism, as taught by Epictetus, is the concept of control. Epictetus begins his Enchiridion, a manual for living a Stoic life, by stating that some things are within our control while others are not. This distinction is crucial because it helps us understand where to focus our energy. What are the things we can control? According to Epictetus, these include our own thoughts, actions, and reactions. We have the power to decide how we interpret events, how we respond to challenges, and how we conduct ourselves in any situation. On the other hand, things like the actions of others, the weather, or even the outcomes of our efforts are beyond our control. Consider this. Imagine you're working hard on a project, pouring your heart and soul into it. But when the time comes, your work is not appreciated as you had hoped. The appreciation or criticism you receive is outside your control. However, the effort you put in and how you choose to respond to the feedback are within your control. This principle teaches us to direct our energy toward things that we can influence, rather than wasting time and emotional energy on things that are out of our hands. This shift in focus is liberating. When you let go of trying to control the uncontrollable, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and frustration. Instead, you can focus on your own growth and how you can positively impact the world around you. One practical way to apply this principle is to create two lists, one for things within your control and one for things outside of it. Whenever you're faced with a difficult situation, refer back to these lists. This exercise will help you quickly identify where to focus your efforts and where to let go. Epictetus reminds us that life is full of uncertainty and much of it is beyond our control. By accepting this reality and focusing on what we can control, we can navigate life with a sense of calm and clarity. 2. Accept fate. Amor fati. The second principle, deeply rooted in Stoic thought, is amor fati, which means love of fate. This concept is about embracing everything that happens to you, both good and bad, as necessary and even beneficial. Epictetus teaches that we should not only accept whatever happens, but actively embrace it as something that was meant to be. This might sound like passive resignation, but it's actually the opposite. It's about finding meaning and value in every experience, even in adversity. Let's break this down. Life is full of events that we cannot control, from natural disasters to economic downturns to the actions of other people. We might be tempted to resist these events, to wish they hadn't happened, or to spend our energy trying to change the past. But this resistance only leads to suffering. Instead, Epictetus advises us to accept fate and see each event as an opportunity for growth. For example, if you lose your job, rather than despairing, you can choose to see this as a chance to explore new opportunities or to develop skills you've neglected. Amor fati is about saying yes to life in all its forms. It's about acknowledging that every event, whether we perceive it as positive or negative, plays a role in shaping who we are. By loving your fate, you transform obstacles into opportunities for personal growth. A powerful exercise to practice amor fati is to reflect on a past event that was challenging for you. Ask yourself, how did this event shape who I am today? What did I learn from it? How did it contribute to my growth? By reframing past difficulties in this way, you'll begin to see how embracing fate can lead to a richer, more fulfilling life. Remember, amor fati is not about being passive. It's about actively engaging with life, accepting what comes your way, and using it as fuel for your personal development. This mindset not only reduces suffering but also empowers you to live fully and authentically. 3. Practice negative visualization. Negative visualization is a technique that many Stoics, including Epictetus, use to prepare themselves for life's uncertainties. It involves imagining the loss of things you cherish, your health, your loved ones, your possessions. This might seem counterintuitive or even depressing, but it serves a powerful purpose. The goal of negative visualization is not to dwell on negative thoughts, but to mentally prepare yourself for the inevitable changes and losses that life will bring. By periodically contemplating worst-case scenarios, you reduce the shock and emotional impact if these things were to happen. Additionally, this practice enhances your appreciation for what you have in the present moment. For example, take a moment to imagine losing something you deeply value, perhaps your job, your home, or even a close relationship. As you visualize this loss, notice the feelings that arise. These feelings are a natural part of the process, but over time, you'll find that this exercise makes you more resilient. You'll become less attached to material things and more appreciative of the time you have with the people you love. Negative visualization is a way to train your mind to face reality with courage and equanimity. It's not about being pessimistic, it's about being prepared. When you regularly practice this technique, you'll find that you're less likely to be caught off guard by life's inevitable challenges. One practical application of this principle is to set aside a few minutes each day for negative visualization. Reflect on the impermanence of your current circumstances and imagine how you would cope if things were to change. This practice will help you build mental fortitude and deepen your gratitude for the present. Epictetus reminds us that life is unpredictable and that change is the only constant. By practicing negative visualization, we prepare ourselves for life's ups and downs, cultivating a mindset that is resilient and grateful no matter what happens. 4. Be mindful of your judgments. The fourth principle we'll explore is the importance of being mindful of your judgments. Epictetus teaches that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about those events. This principle is incredibly empowering because it puts the control of our emotions and reactions back into our own hands. Consider this. When someone criticizes you, the criticism itself is just words, sound waves traveling through the air. However, it's your judgment that those words are hurtful or offensive that causes you emotional pain. If you change your judgment, you can change your emotional response. This principle invites us to examine the narratives we create about the events in our lives. Often these narratives are based on assumptions, fears, or past experiences rather than on the reality of the situation. By becoming aware of these judgments, we can challenge them and choose a more constructive perspective. For instance, imagine you're passed over for a promotion at work. You might initially feel disappointed or even resentful, but if you take a step back and examine your judgment, you might realize that you're assuming this setback defines your worth or future success. By challenging this judgment, you can reframe the situation as an opportunity to improve your skills, seek feedback, or explore other career paths. A practical exercise to cultivate mindfulness of your judgments is to pause whenever you feel a strong emotional reaction to something. Ask yourself, what judgment am I making about this situation? Is this judgment helping me or harming me? Is there another way to view this situation? By questioning your judgments, you open up the possibility of responding more wisely and calmly. Epictetus teaches us that our power lies not in controlling external events, but in controlling our own minds. By being mindful of our judgments, we can navigate life's challenges with greater ease and composure, making choices that align with our values rather than reacting impulsively. 5. Practice detachment, ataraxia. The fifth principle of Stoicism is the practice of detachment, also known as ataraxia, which means inner peace or tranquility. This principle is about maintaining a sense of calm and equanimity, regardless of external circumstances. Epictetus teaches that our peace of mind should not depend on things outside our control, such as wealth, status, or even relationships. These things are impermanent and can change at any moment. If we attach our happiness to them, We set ourselves up for disappointment and suffering. Detachment, in the Stoic sense, doesn't mean withdrawing from life or becoming indifferent. It's about engaging with the world fully while maintaining an inner stability that isn't shaken by external events. It's about enjoying what you have without clinging to it and being ready to let go when the time comes. For example, you might have a beautiful home, a successful career, or a loving relationship. Stoicism teaches you to appreciate these things deeply, but also to recognize that they are temporary. By practicing detachment, you prepare yourself emotionally for the possibility of losing them without losing your sense of peace. A practical way to cultivate detachment is to periodically reflect on the impermanence of the things you value. Imagine your life without them and consider how you would cope. This exercise helps you build resilience and reduces the fear of loss. Epictetus reminds us that true happiness comes from within, from living according to our values and cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, and kindness. By practicing detachment, we protect our inner peace from the inevitable changes and losses that life will bring. 6. Embrace discomfort, voluntary discomfort. The sixth Stoic principle is the practice of voluntary discomfort. This principle is about deliberately putting yourself in uncomfortable situations to build resilience and reduce your dependence on comfort and luxury. Epictetus believed that by exposing ourselves to discomfort, we prepare for the inevitable hardships of life. When you voluntarily endure discomfort, you learn to cope with adversity more effectively, and you become less fearful of the unknown. For example, you might choose to take a cold shower, skip a meal, or sleep on the floor. These small acts of discomfort remind you that you can survive without the luxuries you've become accustomed to. They also help you develop mental toughness and a greater appreciation for the comforts you do have. Voluntary discomfort is not about self-punishment. It's about training your mind and body to be adaptable and resilient. When you practice this principle regularly, you become less dependent on external comforts and more confident in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. One practical way to incorporate voluntary discomfort into your life is to start with small, manageable challenges. For example, you might choose to walk instead of drive, fast for a day, or take a cold shower once a week. These small acts of discomfort will gradually build your resilience and help you develop a Stoic mindset. Epictetus teaches us that life is full of challenges, and by voluntarily embracing discomfort, we prepare ourselves to face these challenges with courage and composure. This practice not only strengthens our resilience, but also deepens our appreciation for the simple pleasures in life. 7. Remember the impermanence of life. Memento mori. The seventh principle is memento mori, which means remember you will die. This Stoic practice involves reflecting on the inevitability of death, not as a morbid exercise, but as a powerful motivator for living a meaningful and purposeful life. Epictetus teaches that by keeping death in mind, we are reminded of the preciousness of life and the importance of living in alignment with our values. When we remember that our time is limited, we're more likely to focus on what truly matters, rather than getting caught up in trivial pursuits or holding grudges. Memento mori encourages us to live fully in the present moment, to express love and gratitude, and to pursue our passions with urgency. It's a reminder that each day is a gift, and that we should not waste it on things that don't contribute to our well-being or the well-being of others. For example, imagine that today is your last day on Earth. How would you spend it? What would you do differently? Who would you spend time with? These reflections can help you gain clarity on your priorities and motivate you to make the most of each day. A practical exercise to cultivate memento mori is to set aside a few minutes each day to reflect on the impermanence of life. You might do this through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting quietly and contemplating the fact that one day you will die. This practice will help you stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. Epictetus reminds us that death is a natural part of life, and by accepting it, we can live with greater purpose and peace. Memento mori is not about fearing death, but about using it as a catalyst for living a more intentional and fulfilling life. 8. Cultivate virtue above all else. The eighth Stoic principle is the cultivation of virtue. For the Stoics, virtue is the highest good and the key to a fulfilling life. Epictetus emphasized that external circumstances do not determine our happiness. Rather, it's our character and how we live according to our values that matter most. The four cardinal virtues in Stoicism are wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom is the ability to discern what is true and what is important. Courage is the strength to act in accordance with your convictions, even in the face of adversity. Justice is the commitment to fairness and to treating others with respect and dignity. Temperance is the practice of self-control and moderation. Epictetus teaches that by cultivating these virtues, we ensure that our actions are aligned with our principles, regardless of external pressures. When we prioritize virtue, we're less likely to be swayed by fleeting desires or the opinions of others. Our sense of self-worth comes from within, not from external validation, which makes us more resilient to life's challenges. For example, if you value justice, you might choose to stand up for someone who is being treated unfairly, even if it's not the popular thing to do. If you value temperance, you might practice moderation in your consumption of food, drink, or material possessions, even when tempted to indulge. A practical way to cultivate virtue is to reflect on your values and consider how you can live them more fully in your daily life. Ask yourself, what are the virtues that matter most to me? How can I embody these virtues in my actions and decisions? By regularly reflecting on these questions, you'll strengthen your commitment to living a virtuous life. Epictetus reminds us that virtue is the foundation of a good life. By cultivating wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we can navigate life's challenges with integrity and grace, remaining true to ourselves no matter what circumstances we face. Be present. Live in the moment. The ninth Stoic principle is the practice of living in the present moment. Epictetus teaches that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, and the only moment we truly have is the present. By focusing on the present, we free ourselves from the regret of the past and the anxiety of the future. This principle encourages us to fully engage with the present moment, to appreciate the here and now, and to make the most of our current circumstances. It's a reminder that life is happening right now, not in some distant future or in the memory of the past. For example, imagine you're spending time with a loved one. Instead of worrying about what you need to do tomorrow or dwelling on something that happened yesterday, Stoicism teaches you to be fully present in that moment. Listen attentively, engage sincerely, and appreciate the time you have together. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the past or neglecting the future. It means acknowledging them without letting them dominate your thoughts and actions. By focusing on the present, you're better able to respond to whatever life throws at you with clarity and calm. A practical exercise to cultivate presence is to practice mindfulness. Take a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath, your surroundings, or a simple task like drinking a cup of tea. This practice will help you develop the habit of staying present, even in the midst of a busy and chaotic life. Epictetus reminds us that life is fleeting, and by living in the present moment, we can experience it more fully and richly. By focusing on the now, we free ourselves from unnecessary worry and regret, allowing us to live with greater joy and purpose. 10. Practice gratitude. Recognize the good in your life. The 10th and final Stoic principle we'll explore is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful practice that helps you focus on the positives in your life rather than dwelling on what's missing or what's going wrong. Epictetus encourages us to recognize the good in every situation, no matter how difficult. When you practice gratitude, you shift your perspective from what you lack to what you have. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or challenges, but rather acknowledging that even in the midst of difficulty, there are things to be thankful for. For example, if you're going through a tough time at work, you might still find gratitude in the support of your colleagues, the opportunity to learn and grow, or even the simple fact that you have a job. By focusing on these positives, you can shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Gratitude also helps us cultivate humility and a sense of perspective. It reminds us that we are part of a larger whole and that many of the good things in our lives come from outside ourselves, whether from other people, nature, or the universe at large. A practical way to practice gratitude is to keep a daily gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. Over time, this practice will help you develop a more positive outlook and a greater appreciation for the good things in your life. Epictetus teaches us that gratitude is a key to happiness and resilience. By recognizing and appreciating the good in our lives, we can cultivate a mindset of abundance and joy, even in the face of life's challenges. Bonus: reflect daily, the evening meditation. As promised, here's a bonus tip that can significantly enhance your Stoic practice: the evening meditation. Epictetus recommended that we take time at the end of each day to reflect on our actions and thoughts. The evening meditation is a time for self-reflection and self-improvement. It's an opportunity to review the day, to celebrate your successes, and to learn from your mistakes. By reflecting on your actions, you can identify areas where you can improve and make a plan to do better tomorrow. A practical way to practice the evening meditation is to set aside a few minutes each night to sit quietly and reflect on the day. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What could I have done better? Did I live according to my values? What can I do differently tomorrow? This practice will help you stay on track and make continuous improvements in your life. By regularly assessing your progress, you become more aware of your growth and areas where you can improve. This not only reinforces your commitment to Stoic principles, but also helps you cultivate a sense of purpose and direction. Epictetus teaches us that self-reflection is essential for personal growth. By taking time each day to reflect on our actions and thoughts, we can become better versions of ourselves, living more fully in alignment with our values and principles. And there you have it, 10 Stoic principles inspired by the teachings of Epictetus that can help you remain unaffected by external circumstances. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or being indifferent to life. It's about cultivating a mindset that allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and resilience. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on philosophy, personal development, and mental resilience. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you apply Stoic principles in your own life? We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay strong, stay Stoic.